It's Tuesday morning. After 3 days here in Italy, the Tour de France enters its home country. Every stage has given us different winners, surprise winners, different yellow jersey, exciting racing so far here in Italy. Up ahead, it's the Alps, and everything's about ready to get serious.
We are at the start of stage 4, and this is the first day that we're going up into the high mountains of the Tour de France, covering some of the famous alpine passes. We're getting the riders through here one by one in the mix zone, interviewing them, getting their thoughts on the last 3 days, but also the turn and tide, what's ahead in this Tour de France, and specifically today's big mountain stage, the high mountains, because we have 1, 2, 3 summits on today's stage, and the third one, of course, that's the Col du Galibier, 2,600 meters, the highest peak, the highest pass in this year's Tour de France, and it has a lot of history because it was there in 2017 that Primož Roglič went over the top first and scored his first ever Tour de France stage win. Also in 2022, well, that was where Jumbo-Visma, now called Visma Lease Bike, churned the screws on Tadej Pogačar, seeing him lose time and making sure that Vingegaard had the pole position heading for the rest of that tour, the eventual Tour de France win. So today, well, it's a big one, and we see the teams rolling up now. Simon Yates, J.K. Alula, all the top stars will have prepared and put this stage on their list to be ready to rock.
Eric, how unique have these first 3 days been for you, and do you think for the Tour de France here in Italy?
Yeah, it's been a interesting start to my first Tour de France. It's been some ridiculous weather and some hard stages, and then yesterday was pretty boring for a while and then super stressful for a little while, so getting a little bit of everything.
You realize it's been an odd start with, well, back-to-back French winners, back-to-back escape winners on day 1 and day 2, yellow jersey changing 3 times. Do you realize that it's a bit particular?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see, I think, especially from a fan's perspective.
I think it's actually been pretty good for the tour, to be honest, from a spectator's point of view. You've had 3 maybe unlikely winners, and obviously yesterday to see Vinny win and Intermarché was pretty cool. And it's maybe been not so predictable, which has been nice, but it'll be nice to get into the French side of things.
I think just in general, we've had 2 hard stages to start, and then obviously yesterday was quite easy, a big long day, but yeah, today's like the mountain day, the big first test, kind of the day everyone's been waiting for.
Can you explain to the followers, how does it change when we have a descent finish like we have today off of the top of a very high pass?
I mean, for sure, it changes a lot. I mean, one thing is, you can make a difference uphill, but you can also make a difference in the downhill. You can catch time back, or you can, the other. It's of course a bit more dangerous. People would take a lot of risk in the downhills, but that's how it is, and that's a part of cycling, I guess.
Does this start a new chapter in the Tour de France today? Are we a different race is starting today?
Yeah, I kind of see it as part of the first block, to be honest. A hard weekend. Okay, easier day yesterday, but then a big day today. But yeah, obviously definitely different to what we've done so far. So it'll be interesting.
Properly into the mountains now. Stage 1 was hard, but it wasn't a mountain day. I mean, there's some iconic climbs, so that's going to be pretty special to race over. I don't think I'll enjoy it while I'm racing it, but looking back, it's going to be a pretty special stage.
Sestriere and Galibier are quite hard climbs. You have the bonus seconds at the top of the Galibier. I expect quite a hard fight for the breakaway. We have the interesting position of the sprint classification points at 18 kilometers into the stage. So I imagine the sprint teams like Alpecin, they're here just for the green jersey. They'll probably control it, have Phillips and Try go for the sprint, and then probably a hard fight for the breakaway. It falls flat uphill into the Sestriere with a tailwind, but then turns into headwind in the Galibier, and you have that valley before you get to the final 8 kilometers where it'll be block headwind, and it really affects the speed there.
Normally I would be maybe a bit more stressed because I knew that today was the day you had to deliver, but I mean, even if I don't deliver, yeah, that's how it is, and I cannot change it. I just hope for the best and hope for good legs.
Well, this is it. Stage 4 into the high mountains. It seems early on in the Tour de France, and yes it is, we still have a lot of days left to race. The riders are clipping in their pedals, getting ready to roll out of town, over the big mountain passes, and into the homeland of the Tour de France. Mark it on your calendars because it's today a new chapter starts in this race.